Hello and welcome to day 64 of our chronological Bible in Year reading. Today we have Numbers 23, 24, and 25. Numbers 23. And Balaam said to Balak, "Build 7 altars for me here and prepare 7 bulls and 7 rams for me here." And Balak did as Balaam had spoken, and Balak and Balaam offered a bull and a ram on each altar. Balaam then said to Balak, "Stand by your burnt offering and let me go on. It might be that Yahuwah comes to meet me, and whatever he shows me I shall declare to you." And he went to a bare height. And Elohim came to Balaam, and he said to him, "I have prepared the 7 altars, and I have offered on each altar a bull and a ram." And Yahuwah put a word in the mouth of Balaam and said, "Return to Balak, and this is what you say." And he returned to him, and saw him standing by his burnt offering, he and all the heads of Moab. And he took up his proverb and said, "Balak the sovereign of Moab has brought me from Aram, from the mountains of the east. Come, curse Jacob for me, and come, rage at Yisrael. How do I curse whom El has not cursed? And how do I rage at whom Yahuwah has not raged? For from the top of the rocks I see him, and from the hills I observe him. Look, a people dwelling alone, not reckoning itself among the nations. Who shall count the dust of Jacob and the number of 1/4 of Yisrael? Let me die the death of the upright, and let my end be like his." And Balak said to Balaam, "What have you done to me? I took you to curse my enemies, and look, you have kept on barakah." I believe that means blessing. Let me look.
It says you have blessed them bountifully.
Yeah, blessing, yeah. And he answered and said, "Should I not take heed to speak what Yahuwah has put in my mouth?" And Balak said to him, "Please come with me to another place from where you see them. You only see the extremity, but not all of them. Curse them for me from there." And he took him to the field of Zophim, to the top of Pisgah, and built 7 altars, and offered a bull and a ram on each altar. And he said to Balak, "Stand here by your burnt offering while I meet over there." And Yahuwah came to Balaam, and put a word in his mouth, and said, "Go back to Balak, and say this." So he went to him, and saw him standing by his burnt offering, and the heads of Moab with him. And Balak asked him, "What did Yahuwah say?" And he took up his proverb, and said, "Rise up, Balak, and hear. Listen to me, son of Zippor. El is not a man to lie, nor a son of man to repent. Has he said, and would he not do it, or spoken, and would not confirm it? See, I have received to Barak," which means bless, "and he has Barak, and I do not reverse it. He has not looked upon wickedness in Jacob, nor has he seen trouble in Yisrael." Yahuwah his Elohim is with him, and the shout of a sovereign is in him. El who brought them out of Mitzrayim, which is Egypt, is for them like the horns of a wild ox. For there is no sorcery against Jacob, nor is there any divination against Yisrael. Now it is said to Jacob and to Yisrael, "What has El done? Look, a people rises like a lioness, and lifts itself up like a lion. It lies not down until it devours the prey, and drinks the blood of the slain." And Balak said to Balaam, "Do not curse them at all, nor barak them at all." And Balaam answered and said to Balak, "Have I not spoken to you, saying, all that Yahuwah speaks that I do?" And Balak said to Balaam, "Please come, let me take you to another place. It might be right in the eyes of Elohim that you curse them for me from there." And Balak took Balaam to the top of Peor that overlooks the wasteland. And Balaam said to Balak, "Build 7 altars for me here, and prepare 7 bulls and 7 rams for me here." And Balak did as Balaam had said, and offered a bull and a ram on each altar. Chapter 24. And when Balaam saw that it pleased Yahuwah to Barak Yisrael, he did not go as at other times to seek to use sorcery, but he put his face toward the wilderness. And Balaam lifted up his eyes and saw Yisrael encamped according to their tribes. And the Ruah, which is spirit, of Elohim came upon him. And he took up his proverb and said, "The saying of Balaam, son of Beor, and the saying of the man whose eyes are opened, the saying of him who hears the words of El, who sees the vision of El Shaddai, who falls down with eyes opened wide. How good are your tents, O Jacob, your dwellings, O Yisrael, like wadis that stretch out, like gardens by a river, like aloes planted by Yahuwah, like cedars beside waters. He makes water flow from his buckets, and his seed is in many waters. His sovereign is higher than Agag, and his reign is exalted. El, who brought him out of Mitzrayim, is for them like the horns of a wild ox. He devours nations, his enemies, and he breaks their bones, and he strikes through with his arrows. He bowed down, he lie down like a lion, and like a lion who would rouse him. Baruch is he who barak you, and cursed is he who curses you. Then the displeasure of Balak burned against Balaam, and he struck his hands together. Balak then said to Balaam, I summoned you to curse my enemies, and see, you have kept on barakah, which means blessing, these 3 times. And now flee to your place. I said I would greatly esteem you, and see, Yahuwah has kept you back from esteem. And Balaam said to Balak, Did I not also speak to your messengers, whom you sent to me, saying, If Balak should give me his house filled with silver and gold, I am unable to go beyond the word of Yahuwah to do either good or evil of my own heart. What Yahuwah speaks, that I speak. And now see, I am going to my people. Come, let me advise you what this people is going to do to your people in the latter days. And he took up his proverb and said, The saying of Balaam, son of Beor, and the saying of the man whose eyes are opened, the saying of him who hears the words of El and knows the knowledge of the Most High, who sees the vision of El Shaddai, who falls down with eyes open wide. I see him, but not now. I observe him, but not near. A star shall come out of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise out of Yisrael, and shall smite the corners of Moab, and shall destroy all the sons of Sheth. And Edom shall be a possession, and Seir shall be a possession. Enemies, and Yisrael is doing mightily. And a ruler shall come from Jacob and destroy the remnant of Ar. And he then looked on Amalek, and he took up his proverb and said, Amalek was first among the nations, but his latter end is to perish forever. He then looked on the Canaanites, and he took up his proverb and said, Firm is your dwelling place, and your nest is placed in the rock. But Cain is to be burned. Till when does Ashur keep you captive? And he took up his proverb and said, O who lives when El does this, and ships shall come from the coast of Kittim, and they shall afflict Ashur and afflict Eber, and so shall Amalek, and he also perishes. And Balaam arose and left and returned to his place, and Balak also went his way. Chapter 25. And Yisrael dwelt in Shittim, and the people began to whore with the daughters of Moab, and they invited the people to the slaughterings of their mighty ones. And the people ate and bowed down to their mighty ones. Thus Yisrael was joined to Baal Peor, and the displeasure of Yahuwah burned against Yisrael. And Yahuwah said to Moshe, Take all the leaders of the people and hang them up before Yahuwah, before the sun, so that the burning displeasure of Yahuwah turns away from Yisrael. And Moshe said to the judges of Yisrael, Each one of you slay his men who were joined to Baal Peor. And see, one of the children of Israel came and brought to his brothers a Midianite woman before the eyes of Moshe and before the eyes of all the congregation of the children of Israel, who were weeping at the door of the tent of appointment. And when Phinehas, son of Eleazar, son of Aaron the Kohen, which is priest, saw it, he rose up from among the congregation and took a spear in his hand. And he went after the man of Israel into the tent and thrust both of them through, the man of Israel and the woman through her abdomen. Thus the plague among the children of Israel came to a stop. And those who died in the plague were 24,000. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, Phinehas, son of Eleazar, son of Aaron the Kohen, has turned back my wrath from the children of Israel, because he was ardent with my ardor in their midst, so that I did not consume the children of Israel in my ardor. Therefore say, See, I am giving him my covenant of peace, and it shall be to him and to his seed after him a covenant of an everlasting kehunah, which is priesthood, because he was ardent for his Elohim and made atonement for the children of Israel. And the name of the Israelite who was killed with the Midianite woman, was Zimri, son of Salu, a leader of a father's house among the Shemonites. And the name of the Midianite woman who was killed was Cosbi, the daughter of Zur. He was head of the people of a father's house in Midian. And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, Distress the Midianites, and you shall smite them, for they distressed you with their tricks, with which they deceived you in the matter of Peor, and in the matter of Cosbi, the daughter of a leader of Midian, their sister, who was killed in the day of the plague because of Peor. And that concludes our reading for today. As always, thank you for reading along with me. Hope you enjoy, and peace, blessings, and love to you.